The family of Tina Satchwell believed that she was murdered by her English-born husband Richard because he discovered she was planning to leave him, and he couldn't bear the prospect of losing coercive control over his Irish-born wife. The revelation came as a new documentary is to be broadcast on the murder trial which dominated headlines in Ireland in early 2025. The documentary, entitled The Murder Trial of Richard Satchwell, will be broadcast on Virgin Media on Monday evening. It is presented by Virgin Media Courts correspondent Deborah Naylor and is produced by David Tiernan. It features extensive contributions from members of Tina's family, from Gardaí, and from journalists who covered the case. Members of Tina's family are convinced that Richard killed her because he discovered she was planning to leave him. They also believe that Richard had exerted extensive coercive control over his wife for many years, had isolated her from her family and friends, and had even engineered a move from her native Fermoy in North Cork to Youghal in a bid to separate her from her support network of family and friends. Tina's body was discovered in October 2023 when Gardaí ordered an invasive search of the family home. For 6.5 years, there had been a high-profile missing persons hunt for Tina. Richard had engaged in multiple media appeals for information about his wife, insisting that she was the love of his life, that all he wanted was to put his arms around her when she would return home, and that he would love the bones off her. In reality, some interviews were given in the family home while Tina was buried in the secret grave underneath the stairs. Richard was arrested on suspicion of his wife's murder in October 2023. He was charged before a special sitting of Cashel District Court, and his murder trial opened before the Central Criminal Court in Dublin on April the 28th. The high-profile trial dominated headlines in Ireland. Richard maintained that his wife's death was an accident and that he panicked and buried her body. However, a jury unanimously rejected his version of events and convicted him of his wife's murder. He is now 2 years into a mandatory life sentence. Mr. Satchwell confirmed that he was going to appeal his conviction, and appeal papers were served over the summer.